Alright then gang, so like text and colours, we also have Tailwind classes to control margin and padding. So it's very, very simple. We can see here we have several different classes and they're all p hyphen then a number. Now the number is the strength of the padding, and we can see, for example, p hyphen 0 gives it a padding of 0, p hyphen 4 gives it a padding of 1 rem, p12 is 3 rem, etc. So the larger the number, the higher the amount of padding. Now, notice some numbers are left out like 9, 11, 14, so you can't just guess the number. If something doesn't work, then it's probably because it doesn't exist. So definitely check out the class if you're stuck and it's not working, because you can see them all right here. Now, you can also use padding in certain directions. For example, py is padding in the y direction. So if we say py0, that means top and bottom, the y direction is going to be 0. If we say py1, then it's going to be top and bottom 0.25 rems, and the same for all the other strengths, etc. So we can do this in the px direction as well by saying px1 or px2 and so forth. And we can also do pt for padding top, and we can do PR for padding right, PB for padding bottom, and PL for padding left. So it's all pretty self-explanatory. And the same is true for margin as well, except we replace the P, surprise, surprise, with an M. So let's add a bit of padding and margin to some of our elements. So what I'm going to do is up here at the top, this H1 that's inside the nav, I'm just going to give this a bit of padding. So I'm going to say that after uppercase, I'm going to apply P4, so a padding of strength 4 in all directions. So if we check this out, now we can see we have a bit of padding around this element. Okay, so let's go down to the main tag and let's also add some padding to this. So I'm going to say class is equal to, and I'm going to say px, so padding in the x direction only, -16, so that's quite a lot of padding, and we can check this out. Now we get this padding on the x-axis, and it would be over here as well. And in the y direction, we're going to do the same thing, so py is going to be 16 there as well. Now, I could have just said p-16 to do this because we have 16 in the y direction and 16 in the x direction, but I don't want to do that because I'm going to change the y direction because I think there's a little bit too much padding there. I'm going to change that to 6. And yep, that looks a bit better. Okay, so now we could scroll down a little bit more and we could apply a bit of padding, or rather margin this time, to these H4s right here. So let me say M, and we're just going to say MT for margin top, and this is going to be of strength 12. And let's do the same thing for the H4 at the bottom as well. So right here we can say MT-12, that's the margin top, strength 12, and now we can see these things right here, they have a lot of margin above them. Awesome. Now I also want to apply some padding at the bottom of this one, so, and I think I also want to do that to this one as well. Let's come over here and say PB for padding bottom, and this is going to be just strength 2, and the same up here. So PB-2, we should get a little bit of padding at the bottom now as well. And the reason I'm applying padding is because later on in this lesson, we're going to do a border at the bottom, and I just want that bit of space between the border and the text itself. All right, so we have the margin and padding on those. I also want to apply a bit of margin to these divs right here containing the divs. So let me say class for this div is equal to MT, so margin top -8, and then I'm going to do the same thing down here. So class is equal to MT margin top -8. Save that and preview, and we can see now they have a bit of margin at the top as well. This thing right here has a bit of margin, okay? So we also have classes for adding borders to elements as well. So again, these border classes are pretty self-explanatory and simple. If we just want to give something a simple border of 1 pixel all the way around, then we can just give it a border class. If we want to control its strength, we can say border -0 for a border width of 0, so no border. border 2 for 2 pixels, border 4 for 4, border 8 for 8. And that applies in every direction, every side of the element. Now, if you just want to give something a border in one direction, you can say border hyphen, then whatever direction. So T for top, R for right, B for bottom, L for left. And that again would just be 1 pixel in each direction. If you want to control the strength, you can do by placing the number after the direction. Okay? So, very, very simple, very self-explanatory. Let's now try adding some borders in our project. So, I'd like to apply a border to a couple of different things. This thing right here, and also this thing right here, they are the H4s. So, this thing and this thing. But I only want to apply the border to the bottom of those. So, I'm going to place my cursor in both of these things and then say border -b. And remember, when we don't specify a number or a strength, that automatically applies a border of 1 pixel on the bottom side. Okay, so if we save that and come over here, we can see the default color of a border is this kind of medium gray color. Now I want the gray to be a bit lighter, so I need to control also the color of the border. So how do we do that? Well, pretty simple. I can just say border hyphen, then the color, hyphen, then the strength. So I can say gray 200. If I wanted this to be red, I'd say red 200, etc. So very similar to how we controlled the color of text, but instead of text, it's border. So let me grab that and also paste it down here. So save that, and now the borders are a little bit lighter. So, okay, let me also create a border up here for the H1. So right at the top, it's this, oh no, it's not, it's this one right here, border -b, because it's border bottom, and the border is going to be grey also, and it's going to be 100 this time, so very faint. If I save that, we can see just about, you might not be able to see it on your screen, but I can just about see a very faint border at the top. So there we go, we've played around with the basics now. We've seen text color, font size, font weight, margin, padding, borders. So now in the next video, I'd like to talk about the Tailwind config file.